Welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now, Pakistan has reportedly claimed that 133 Afghan Taliban fighters were killed and more than 200 wounded in its latest military offensive, warning Kabul of escalation. Islamabad Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said the armed forces have the capability to crush any aggressive ambitions, while Defence Minister Khawaja Asif declared that our patience has reached its limit and warned that it was now open war between the two sides. Tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan escalated sharply overnight, with both sides claiming heavy losses and launching retaliatory strikes across the disputed border. Explosions and gunfire were reported in Kabul and Kandahar, even as leaders in Islamabad and Kabul traded accusations of aggression. With that, let's take a look at the Durand line, the core reason for this ongoing skirmish. Let me take you through that, viewers. Now, the Afghanistan-Pak war, viewers, is of course in the limelight currently. Now, the Durand line, everything you need to know about it. The Durand line is the volatile Afghanistan-Pakistan line, of course, and 2,640 kilometers long border drawn in 1893 by the British. That is what the Durand line is. So this is an overview, and this, of course, viewers, let's talk about the Durand line here. This is the map that we were showing you, and now named after Mortimer Durand. Can we slow down the slides, please? We've missed the second one. Now, Afghanistan never recognized it. All right. So these are the details, viewers, and of course, we're telling you about the Durand line. This is a porous, ungoverned terrain shelters, cross-border militants. TTP attacks from Afghanistan triggers Pakistani strikes. So this is, of course, the line that we're talking about, the Durand line. We're trying to get you what that is. Now, Taliban views fencing as aggression, and retaliatory cycles spark open clashes now. So these are the details, viewers, that are emerging, and of course, Taliban has its version, and of course, Pakistan has its version. But the problem here really is that war isn't the solution. And to discuss this further, I have joining me Commander Bhushan Diwan. He's a defense expert. Commander Diwan, I'd like you to talk a little bit about the Durand line to give our viewers a better understanding of its history and what it really stands for at the moment.
Yeah, Vaishali, you put it rightly. Historical perspective, the British have been, while they were rulers here, they have been drawing lines at, so to say, at random, which are not accepted by the countries. But they have left. Well, I would not like to comment, was it a mischief on their part, so that the area remains in constant conflagration always, and then so that the Western powers can fish in troubled waters. And Durand line is actually not accepted by Afghanistan. Afghanistan, in fact, is claiming since then the territories, because Afghanistan's main problem is that Afghanistan's access to warm waters of Arabian Sea has been blocked, and this has been done by the British. And why Afghanistan? That has been done because it was felt by the British that even if Russia is able to overcome Afghanistan at a later stage, at least they will have another territory, another country to contend with, namely Pakistan, which is south of Afghanistan. I mean, between Arabian Sea and Afghanistan, there is Pakistan territory on one side, of Iran on the other side. So that's how Afghanistan has been locked up by in the calculation mischief done by the British while leaving. Now, Afghans say that even with whether the northern part of Pakistan, that is KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and southern part of Pakistan, southwest and northwest. Southwest is Balochistan. Balochistan is a huge piece of land and very very low population density. So even Afghans feel, and there is the same, both the tribe of three people of Afghanistan as well as KPK and Balochistan, there are a lot of similarities in their genetic upbringing and their cultural affinity. So they feel that they have a claim, the Afghanis have a claim on to all these things, legal, logical claim on all these things. And not the full KPK and not the full Baluchis, but there are many tribes which have common traditions and commonality between them. So, but the point is that whole thing is that only if, for example, now if this trend of keeping the border alive and kicking, both are doing it. Afghanistan is doing it, Pakistan is doing it, and if the long, if but if Afghanistan knows that they will not be able to succeed, they will not be able to get their warm water emissions, or they will not be able to get their Durand line change. I mean, Pakistan is so strong that they have no way. Then the war will stop. The lines are drawn, fine, you accept it. But now the fact of the matter is, because of Pakistan's internal weaknesses, because of Pakistan's mismanagement, the enemies around, the countries around them get emboldened. And after all, look at it. How did Bangladesh come about in 1971? I mean, I had the proud privilege of taking part in the 1971 war. How it came about? The Punjabis ruling Punjabi Janta, they felt, oh, Bengali, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, so what? He has won the elections. Is he going to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan? Well, that is how they were maltreating and trying to attack, moved their army there in East Pakistan, and that is how the country broke away. Now, same things are being repeated by Pakistan. Total lack of wisdom, I must say it is a total bankruptcy at the top, and where nobody is in control except the marauding army, marauding in the sense that they are marauding their own people. They're just, all the military rulers, they have huge mansions, even overseas, Dubai, UK, USA, the families have visas to move at a short notice, exit Pakistan. So it is left, Pakistan is left to the mercies of, you know, unmanaged and unmanageable forces. So the point is that peace cannot prevail in such a situation, and Pakistan has nurtured these terrorists. Once they have weapons, it's like if you uh, nurture a monster in your backyard. Maybe he may be protecting your backyard for some time, in the sense, backyard in the sense, non-state actors against India and so on. But once that is done with, or not being, then the monster is not successful in making headway with a strong neighbor like India, strong country like India, then they will turn on their own. They turn to their own masters, namely Pakistan itself. Is like the body, human body having autoimmune system, and they are attacking them. These terrorists, which are nurtured and grown and flourished during the military regime, Pakistan regime, now they are turning their sights and guns onto Pakistan itself for because they are armed, they are motivated, they want to control now things. If they can't control, go outside the Pakistan territory, and they will control within. That is what TTP is doing. TTP is doing, and it can't be prevented except by slow process of democratic governance, trying to establish Pakistan. People have a stake. The common people, whether it is Baluchi or KPKs, they have a stake in the viability, growth, and emergence of Pakistan as a viable state. Now that is not the role model. Pakistan has chosen that very easy way: become a factory of terrorists, supply terrorists all over. Turkey will help us out. Islamic Brotherhood will help us out. That is what they were doing. So this misguided basic blueprint in their mind, in the mind of Pakistan rulers, that is the bane of bane of the whole situation, and it cannot be resolved by some sloppy approaches of putting some ointment here and putting some band-aid here. This can't be done like that. It is a much deeper problem. It will remain. And to spoil things further, China has taken so much big part of Balochistan. Balochis don't have access to even their own areas because Chinese are there. Because Pakistan has been partitioned and sold off, effectively, to Americans also, to Chinese also. So it's a free-for-all approach. So the point is, this kind of tensions and conflagrations are bound to increase. Yes, we know Pakistan has an army of 5 lakh soldiers, which is not small actually. They're well trained. They are like, no, they've inherited their systems and army governance systems within army from the British. So they are disciplined also. They are, but of course, when they're getting beaten from all sides, they're getting no support from the common population in their own country. So they are army is proving ineffective and a failure. But this failure leads to doesn't lead to acceptance by Mudir and party that we have failed. It leads to further erratic decisions, erratic movements against a country like Afghanistan. It is if you try to flare up, if you try to poke Afghanistan like that, when they have a festering sore, so to say, for almost 1800s onwards, almost 200 years, they have this festering sore, and you want to poke that again and again, rather than focusing on development. How will it work out? It will be like this always for years to come.
And now I want to ask you, Commander Bhushan Diwan, that do you think that there could be any diplomatic intervention now at any point, and even from India, because previously we did have a voice from Afghanistan and she said that perhaps India could negotiate, but do you see that as a valid point?
Very good point, Vaishali. Why not? I mean, it can be done if it is not always the prerogative of the Western powers, USA, UK, and so on, to come and mediate. India can very well do it, being a close neighbor. The point is that Pakistan has no trust in, will not display any trust in India's mediatory role. But at the end of the day, mediation succeeds only to the extent that both the parties feel confident. I mean, Afghans may feel confident about India's role, but Pakistan will certainly not, for whatever reason, and historical reasons. Plus, in fact, on the other hand, we all know it. Pakistanis are carrying the misplaced suspicion in their hearts that this Afghan originated misadventures against Pakistan